Broncos looking to put a tumultuous offseason in the past. The Bengals, well, they're looking for anything new here in 2009. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kirwan. Glad to be with you. Week 1 of the NFL preview show presented by Tyson Anytizers. Denver on the road at Cincinnati. Pat, let's start with the Broncos here because so much has happened since the end of last year. But it also started with the end of last year because of the collapse and then the Chargers making the playoffs. How do they get off to a good start and put all that behind
I think
them?
it's really going to be tough for those guys to get off to a good start. They're on the road. They've got a rookie head coach who's never called it before from the head coach spot. Kyle Orton is under tremendous amount of pressure. In a lot of ways for Kyle Orton, it's good to be on the road, not in front of those Denver fans who will be comparing everything he does to Jay Cutler.
And Kyle Orton is going to try to go with the injured finger. If he doesn't, it'll be Chris Sims. But all accounts that Orton will be ready to go. He will have Brandon Marshall. He's no longer suspended. But what should we expect from him out of Week 1?
You know, Brandon Marshall, last year he was suspended Week 1, came back, I think, caught 18 balls in the second week. So he'll come in, he'll have a big day because they're going to feed him the ball if they can. Now, that Bengal defense last year, late in the year, started to surge, got better. Where's the pass rush? I haven't really seen the pass rush yet from the Bengal defense. If I can identify that early, then it'll struggle for Brandon Marshall. But early on, I think Marshall has a big day.
That's all in the secondary. You and I, though, all offseason have talked about impact players, especially rookies. How much of an impact in Week 1 are we going to see from Ray Maluga?
I think Ray Maluga, first off, I wish he was the Mike linebacker, but he's going to start at Sam. That's okay. He'll be in, and they play their Sam off the line of scrimmage, more like an inside Mike player. He'll be fine there. I talked to Pete Carroll about it. Pete said, he hasn't played a lot on the line of scrimmage, so when they configure the defense to put him on the line of scrimmage, Ray could struggle there. As long as he's off the line of scrimmage next to the Mike, he'll be fine.
For the Bengals offense here, that was where they struggled all last year. Defense kept them in games, but there was no Carson Palmer for the majority of the season. He's back. He's recovered from the ankle injury in the preseason. Do you think they'll look in stride right away? No T.J. Houshmandzadeh.
Well, I think they've recovered from the T.J. Houshmandzadeh loss this year already. I think Chris Henry's on the verge of a gigantic year. I would not be surprised if Chris Henry ends this year with 75 catches and 10 touchdowns. The question there, and Carson will be fine, and he'll be in his groovy practice all week. Marvin said he's fine. It's the protection. And how well are they going to protect? Now, they're going against a defense that really hasn't generated a lot of pass rush. He could have his way with these guys.
That's the other part, too. Denver last year created a league-low 13 turnovers, and they were horrible. The Broncos' defense was horrible last year. They're converting to a 3-4. Will it look just as bad in Week 1?
Well, it won't look like a 3-4, to my knowledge, and watching what they've done so far. And Mike Nolan's a guy that's coached hybrid defenses. So this will be sometimes a 34, sometimes a 4-3 defense. They'll play more zone than they have in the past. The ball will still go away from Champ Bailey. They're not going to throw at him. But the issues there are, that they've got limited pass rushes, so you don't have to slide your protections, which means Denver can't figure out where to come from.
You got a new head coach in Josh McDaniels. You've got a veteran in Marvin Lewis who's trying to turn this team around and get them back to the playoffs where they were a couple of years ago. Who do you think gets the win in Week 1?
I love Cincinnati in this game, and I like Ced Benson. I think we're going to find out that Ced Benson is going to have a big year. Carson Palmer said it to me. He has a chance to be everything Rudy Johnson was for us. He's faster than Rudy Johnson, and he's got very good hands. Look for Ced Benson to lead the team.
Well, last year when he got in there, really, the first year that Cedric Benson ever had a good year in the NFL.
Yeah, and he had 300 total yards in the last 2 games of the year, so I think Ced Benson's poised to have a big
He
one.
played himself into a role with the end of the season. For more on this game, be sure to stay right here with CBSSports.com. It's Denver at Cincinnati, a 1 p.m. Eastern kick on CBS. And that'll do it for the NFL preview show presented by Tyson Anytizers, the meaty good man snack. For Pat Kirwan, I'm Jason Horowitz. Enjoy the football. Take care, folks.